Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the Cutting Edge interview of the week on the channel. And what an interview we have got lined up. We have got someone, or should I say something, ready to go on TNA this week. And not only this week, but also has got a certain championship in his sights as we welcome Mr. Jake Something to the show. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very good. We just had a brief chat off air. Weather's not too good, but you said also in Michigan, where you are at the minute, the weather's not that great there either.
Yeah, it's almost always cold, and we have a few months of not cold, which is pretty nice. But I won't complain. It was a nice winter. It was pretty easy.
We're still getting over winter, and we have about 2 days worth of dust days that are not winter over here, if we're lucky. If we're very lucky indeed. Before we start, I must say to anyone watching that wants to watch TNA, especially the international viewers, you can do on TNA Plus. Also go on the Zone over here in the UK. That is Sky Channel 429, or you can go onto YouTube and go onto TNA Insiders. And if you don't, you're going to miss it, and you'll miss out on that because TNA put on some fantastic shows recently. And first things first, Jake, congratulations. It's been nearly a week since you won the Rebellion referendum to get your X Division title shot at Rebellion. Your initial thoughts on that match and working with those competitors?
I mean, I'm so excited, man. I honestly I can't. It's hard to contain because I'm genuinely excited for myself because I know how hard I've worked to get a match like this. I don't think it would be off to say this is the biggest match of my career or one of them. Um, so it's all, I mean, it's important to me, that title is very, very important to me. This match is important to me. My opponent, I know he's one of the best in the world. Um, I want to beat him, and that's important to me. So this is all really means a lot. I'm excited. I've worked very hard for this, and I'm excited to show everybody the fruits of the labor.
Yeah, exactly that. And we will just talk about a couple of competitors in there, most notably one particular from the UK. I have to get him in. The youngest in charge, Leon Slater. I mean, they were kind of similar, but in a way, they were all kind of different opponents as well. So how do you approach that when you've got someone like Leon who will fly around all over the place, but then you've got someone like Kevin Knight and Skyler who are very sort of athletic and very sort of also more of a ground and a stand-up style wrestling?
Yeah, I prepare for each person the exact same way because my style is I'm a very heavy hitter,
Hmm.
and it doesn't matter if you're 6 foot, if you're 7 foot, if you're 4 foot, doesn't matter how high you can jump or how fast you are. You get close to me, I'm gonna get my hands on you, and I'm probably gonna put my fist through you. I'm probably gonna put my forearm, my elbow through you. I'm a heavy hitter, so it don't matter what you do. I'm gonna get you. So I don't prepare for one or another differently. However, I will say, once I'm in there with somebody that's pretty quick or something, it'll throw me off for a second. But all I need to do is get my hand on you. I will say, Leon. I mean, that's a future world champion if I've ever seen one. They all are, but I mean, he's a child, right? And he's already in this world, this like grown man world, this adult world. So he's gonna be he's got a very bright future. We all know that.
Yeah, he certainly does. I've seen his career over here. It's been the trajectory for someone so young. It's been
Yeah, yeah.
quite incredible. But he's not the only UK wrestler that has recently come on to TNA. We've seen Trent Seven, we've seen
Uh,
Zaya Brookside, Danny Luna, and also soon Harley Hudson, who won the developmental side. What are your
mm.
thoughts on seeing those guys from the UK coming? Because it does show the strength in the talent pool over here as well.
It's awesome. Especially because I haven't been over that way yet. So them getting to come to my neck of the woods is fantastic. But I mean, there's so many different talents from just all over the world, and there's different styles from all over the world. So I mean, as much as we can bring in from different areas is the better. But I mean, the UK in general, it seems they've had possibly the some of the best talent ever to come out of there consistently. So y'all are doing something right over there, I guess.
It's called Weetabix. Jake, definitely for sure. But it's not only stopped there with TNA because they have acquired some really good free agents. And one of them, Mustafa Ali, is obviously one of those, and Nick Nemeth, and also recently Alex Hammerstone. But that does show the position where TNA is at the moment. The fact that these names are not only leaving where they're going, but they're choosing to plant their trade now with TNA.
Yeah, I think that that speaks volumes to TNA as a whole, but the last, what, 3 or 4 years, what we have collectively built, uh, I think that speaks volumes to the amount of work that we've put in. That, just like you said, there are people that they're not only leaving places that they've been, but they're willfully leaving and seeking TNA out because this is where you want to be. And I've heard a lot of people that have said that prior to coming in. I've heard a lot of people say that after, during, or at least saying, "Hey, I really want to as soon as I can." So it's cool to see. It's very awesome to know that my home is a destination, and we're all welcoming. So the door's always open, So come on in.
Well, let's see what happens. It may not be the last one, but it certainly feels that way. And you've kind of put it there, 3 years. I mean, it's gone literally. It was going about its business very quietly, but it was making the noise and making the noise and making the noise. And then it's literally shot through these last sort of maybe 18 months or so. There's just been this big drive up, and it's now, people may have not even remembered TNA. I mean, I remember it very, very well, but it just shows what's been done and what you all guys are doing. The roster seems hungry. You're selling out shows now. There's getting butts on seats, and you're putting on some fantastic television.
Yeah, and we're just gonna keep going. It doesn't matter if there's dark times, dark eras, anything in the past. We're just gonna keep pushing forward because that's the only thing you can do. That's been my philosophy. Throughout my whole life, and I know that's how a lot of us in the back operate. Anyways, is you just got to you got to stay hungry. You got to get better. You got to get stronger. You got to keep going. So that's what we've done the last 3 or 4 years or whatever. And now it's like, we finally are showing out and everyone's really getting to see it. And I think we've opened a lot of eyes, and man, it's just what an exciting time, right?
It's an exciting time for wrestling in general as well.
Yeah.
Obviously with TNA, it was great last year to have come over here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get another tour this year. Hopefully so. That's for sure. You've obviously been there. You started around 7 years ago. You'd left and come back, obviously. You started with the tag team with Cody Deaner, and you was working with quite a lot of legends like, the Dreamers and even Eric Young back then. Did you really utilize them for the experience? And is that what you would say an aspiring wrestler should do? If you've got someone that's coming in of great experience, or you're working with someone that's got great experience, is actually spend the time with them, utilize their experience, maybe get them to watch, send them tapes, or get them to watch the stuff that you're doing to help you nurture on your journey through.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said is definitely a good idea. But the most important thing when you have guys like that in around you in your locker room, whether you're fighting against them or on the same team as them, whatever it may be, is maybe even more so than trying to ask as much as you can. Just open your ears and let them go, because sometimes they're dropping these bits of knowledge that they don't know that they're dropping, or that's just the best time to. For me, the way that I learn is I'm very hands-on, or I got to kind of be in the field. So when I'm down, like kind of in the trenches with these guys, and I'm watching them do their things, like that's when I'm picking up on things, and just hearing them talk about wrestling, or how they think about it, or how they handle their business. So that's when I'm like really like zoned in watching them, and that's when I'm absorbing the most. Dreamer, you said Dreamer and EY, both of those guys are two dudes I can think of in particular, without even going into any detail because it might get lost in translation anyways, of just like hearing them talk about matches, or like, things they've done in the past or things they want to do in the future. I'm just like, wow, that's what it is. You got these vets that have been around the block and back and back and back and back. That's what they bring to the table. It's a value. It's a wealth of knowledge that you can't put a price on it. So I try to leech onto that stuff as best as I can, and really utilize it. Like you said, when you have people like that in the locker room, you have to utilize it, or you'd be foolish to not.
Yeah, no, exactly that. You would be. One of the things I would say, and I've seen these matches, but obviously I don't know what it's like being in one. Ultimate X. Now
Mhm.
it's crazy, and I know you've been in one, and you've been in a lot of scramble matches, but Ultimate X is one I want to pick your brains on. How on earth do you honestly prepare for? I know you sort of mentioned that in the ring it doesn't really matter because you grab them by the neck and you punch them,
Yeah, yeah.
but that match a, it is just crazy to watch. Let alone,
Yeah.
how do you prepare both sort of physically and mentally? Because it isn't just a generic match you're having there.
Right. No, because so when I said I don't prepare for like anyone in particular, that's true. But this was the only exception in my head because I don't even remember how many people was in that X Division the Ultimate X match. I'm gonna assume maybe there were 6 of us.
Yeah.
The seventh man is the Ultimate X itself. Because, like I was saying earlier, I'll just grab you by the throat and I'll bash you. I can't do that to the Ultimate X. I still got to climb it. I still got to get up there. So the preparation was a little different, you know. Like, I mean, as simple things as I would be getting up to like chin up bars and stuff like that, and just holding, doing like flex arm hangs and holds in different positions, holds when I'm all the way at the top, muscle ups, things like that. Just anything I could do to like kind of suspend myself and try to hold it for a period of time where I know, hey, I might need to be doing this sometime soon. Now, granted, you go back and watch that match. Pretty much as soon as I got up there, Alan Angels uppercutted me in the area, but so I didn't get to go up there that much. But
What you should have done was, the pull-up bar and get someone to hold your legs and see how long you
yeah,
can hold it for before
yeah,
you drop. You did take on though Sonada
yeah.
Emergence, which obviously that must have been, again, you don't prepare it, but someone fighting from Japan, massively different style for you. Maybe
Mhm.
I don't know if that was out of your comfort zone, but it was a great match. But how did you prepare for that one? I know we've kind of beaten up at Sonada being a totally different kettle of fish, and should TNA open up the door, we won't call it the other door, but the door again, is there anybody that you would like to face this time around?
Um, yeah. So again, not a preparation of anything different, right? But I mean, I will say if I know full and well I'm going against somebody like Sonata, I gotta. I mean, that's like you got to get your mind right, you know, because all the preparation in the world won't matter if you're not as sharp as you can be with somebody like that. Um, and I mean, I'm not unfamiliar with wrestling people that don't speak the same language as me
Yeah.
or from the same area as me. So nothing like that is going to really throw me off. Um, but for that match in particular, I was just, it wasn't a daunting feat, but I knew I had to be on my game, and I lost, but I do think that I was on my game to the point where the respect was gained, and I do want and need that rematch because I know I can beat him. And there's another rematch I really, really want. I had a match against Shingo
Yes.
with Japan when I took my hiatus from TNA, essentially because I wanted to get better because I knew that I could, and I thought and do think that the only way I could have gotten better was to fly out on my own and spread my wings, you know.
Mm.
And during that time, I wrestled against Shingo. Talk about some of the best in the world, man. Talk about having to keep your wits about you and keep your mind right. He's one of the best in the world. Has been for a very long time. When we got done with that match, he looked me in my eyes and said that he wanted another match, and that's all I've been thinking about ever since. So I need that rematch with Shingo. I need to beat him. So
There we go.
whoever wants to set that up, I need it.
There we go. Well, emergence may happen again this year, so let's see if that does happen for sure. Let's focus our attention on Rebellion coming
Yes,
up
please.
now. Before we do that, tickets are still there. I believe it's Ticketmaster.com. It's in the Casino Resort in Las Vegas. Few matches already on the card. One of them is Full Metal Mayhem, EY versus Frankie Kazarian, Moose and Nick Nemeth for the TNA Championship. But your title is, oh, not your title, but soon to be your title
One
potentially.
day we will be saying my title. So let's just
Yeah, one day I'll definitely have that. One day your title, you and Mustafa Ali. You've mentioned before that he's a world class, and he certainly is, and he's really come into his own since joining TNA. In this match itself, what are you actually expecting from him in this match?
I I don't, I got to figure out how to even word it but I know that I have to expect it's like a level of craftiness that like his mind is capable of more so than like any athletic maneuver you're going to see in that match. I know that I have to be prepared to just like he's very sharp. He's a very, very smart guy. Hearing him talk, and again, the way I hear him approach wrestling and speak about wrestling, I know that he's a very, very, very smart and talented man. So that's what I have to prepare for more than anything, more than any strength or more than any strike, more than any move, more than any speed. Because hey, I'm gonna be honest, anything like that, anything physical, I don't think anyone can touch me. You give me a little time to even know what I got coming against me. I'm gonna be faster. I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna be a heavy hitter. But that mind that he's got, it's hard to prepare for something like that. So you really just got to go in, balls to the wall, and you have to give it everything you got. And that's what I'm going to do is just throw everything at him. Again, if I hit you, you're going down. So that's all I got to do.
So he's very quick as well.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, and I won't take that away because I do know that he is quick, and it's going to be hard to get him.
Yeah, definitely so. But you're not accustomed to X Division Championship matches. You've had two already. Josh Alexander at Emergence a couple of years back, and again at Trey Miguel at Sacrifice.
Yes.
Obviously, you wasn't successful in those ones, unfortunately. But what do you learn from that and take away from those matches that will help you in this one, you think, against Ali?
They haunt me is the best way to describe it. Those two matches you talked about, they haunt me because yeah, they're great matches.
Yes.
They're good. They're entertaining. I'm bleeding from both those matches when I get done, and I like that. And I dig that. But I didn't win. I didn't have the X Division gold. So it's a haunting memory. It's a haunting feeling. And I've got number 3 coming up, my third attempt at this title, and I refuse to be haunted anymore. Those are wrongs that I need to right, and I will. And this isn't going to be a wrong.
No,
I will not be haunted again. That's how I use the past for me. Any failure I've ever had, it's more than fuel for me. It's like it's like a tattooed in my brain. It's seared in there. Like, hey, it ain't happening again.
No, it's definitely. Well, hopefully it won't be for you. But is it though? But you also sometimes being losing those type of matches does make it more. This is, as you said, the third opportunity. So you've lost twice, but it does also give you that experience, that title match experience, because there is something different from a title match between a normal match. There is that more, sometimes there's that desperation cover or that bit more of a momentum for the kick out that you need. So losing those matches will also give you the strength and the experience of a title match to go forward.
No, 100%. Failure is a tricky thing because it obviously sucks, but it's the most important teacher. So I'm not, hey, I'm no stranger to failure. I know that I'll see it again one day, hoping it's a little later down the road, but I'm no stranger to it, but I'm very aware that that's the best way to grow. At least that's the best way for me to learn and grow is to make some mistakes and to fail. And those are two that I've made, and I've learned from both. And I think I've learned enough to know that number 3 isn't going to be a failure. Number 3 ain't going to happen the way the 1 and 2 did.
No, definitely not. One match I do want to see soon, hopefully. I want to see you and, I want to see you and Hammerstone lock it up.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were going to say.
Well, there was that, but there was also, I want to see another rematch with you and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, me too.
That put you both in. What they call it, meat slappers? Is that what they call it? That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing these days, meat slap. As we're wrapping up, Jake, I do need to make a couple of things. There's also Under Siege, May the 3rd in Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, New York. I believe tickets are on tnawrestling.com/events on that. We'll plug once again for anyone that wants to watch TNA, especially over in international viewers, TNA Impact on TNA Plus or DAZN. Over here in the UK, that is Sky Channel 429 or the TNA Insiders on the YouTube. But this week on TNA, it is another stacked week. We have Rich Swann and AJ Francis after Rich Swann's shocking betrayal of Joe Hendry. Didn't want to talk about that last week, but apparently he is this week. So we'll see that for sure. Eddie Edwards will have a great match, I'm sure, with Speedball Mike Bailey. And I love Speedball. That's
Yes, I can't wait for that match.
Yeah, literally TV eyes on the prize, so to speak. We will be Josh Alexander actually will be speaking as well I've got a feeling Hammerstone might be a subject of his spinning. Now, last week, what we didn't see on TNA that you did see on YouTube was a confrontation between Steve Macklin and Chris Sabin. Well, that confrontation has now led to a match that we'll see this week. And again, if you want to say take my money, Macklin, Sabin is one that you just literally,
and this is just our normal Impact show, right? This is it sounds like a pay-per-view to me, but
and I'm gonna go one better with I believe this will be the main event this week, the #1 contendership match for the Knockouts Championship. So Jordan Grace, the champion at Rebellion, will take on the winner of an 8x4x1. I don't know if that's right, if that's how you call it. So it's Havoc, it's Slamovich, it's Fret, it's Alicia Edwards, it's Danny Luna, Rosemary Ash by Elegance, and Zaya Brookside will compete in the match, and the winner of that match will take on Jordan Grace at Rebellion on April the 20th. And you at Rebellion, Jake, will be taking on Mustafa Ali. And we wish you the best of luck in that match. Hopefully, when we talk again, you'll have something around your shoulder or around your waist. But it has been an absolute pleasure, Jake, talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to us today.
Thank you.
And guys, do not forget, watch Impact. I've already told you twice where to get it. Go and watch it there. But until next time, everybody, he has been Jake Something. I have been Adam Cousins. And until next time, everybody, take care and good night.